All right, hi everyone. Big Thinny Rap Tano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. I hope you're doing well. We're about to embark on a different kind of video for this channel, one where I come on here and tell you that I have collaborated officially, artistically, with one of the greatest rappers of all time, Yuno Miles. Yeah, he just kind of hit me up one day out of the blue and asked me if I would be interested in taking part in a new song that he was working on. Either rapping on it, singing on it, I don't know, whatever. He didn't really give me a whole lot of stipulations or rules or expectations in terms of what I should do. Either way, I agreed. He sent me the beat. It sort of had this, fun, summery, throwback ghost town DJs type of groove that's like really popular right now. I think a lot of these recent tunes borrowing from this kind of energy are great. And, I grew up on that song and a few others like it. So, it's a bit of a nostalgic thing for me. So hopping onto a track in this vein was pretty fun. So yeah, the collab happened. He also asked me to shoot a part of a music video for it as well, which I did on a bridge under his instruction. That's actually maybe the clearest instruction he gave me for the entire thing. Like, shoot the video on a bridge. I was like, sure, cool. Let me just do that. But outside of that, yeah, I pretty much had free reign, and I figured for the rest of this video, what I could do is essentially deliver like a little lyrical genius style breakdown of it all.
Can I visit your place? Cook something up while you put on your face? Maybe hit a museum, we could see a Monet. Gonna laugh and swoon over all that you say, babe.
All right, here we are. Let's start with the first bar of my verse, huh? Okay, so can I visit your place? Cook something up while you put on your face. Obviously, the Miles song is about like being invited over somebody's place. So I tried to do my best to like fit into that theme, paint a larger picture around it, and pull from some personal experiences too. Rap what you know. I mean, that's like what they say. I thought the opening question there was a pretty valid one. You obviously want to be invited in. You don't want to barge in. You don't want to like force your way in. Consent is important at all levels. It's going to feel best and it's going to feel comfiest if you are a wanted guest. You want to be cool. You want to be chill. You want to be respectful. So, love going over somebody's place. However, also love going out, having a good time. Whenever I've gone over somebody's place in the past, sometimes it's usually to sort of stop in real quick before we head out somewhere else. Maybe when that happens, they're still getting ready. And what are you supposed to do while you're sitting there just like, while they're doing their thing, just like jerk around and sit there like a freaking bump on a log? Why not spend that idle time doing something cool, doing something sexy? Cook up a meal, cook some food for everybody. Consistently, from what I've seen in, statistics, as well as from my own personal experience, like women love a guy who can cook. If you can cook something that actually tastes pretty good, a sensible, level-headed person will go crazy for that. We can hit a museum, maybe see a Monet, gonna laugh and swoon over all that you say, bae. Okay, also in my experience, first date trips, second date trips, even like 500th date trips, art museum visits are peak. They're chill, they're cool, they're casual, they're neat. You get to look at art, you get to talk the whole time, get a lot of conversation going. Communication is key. Thought I would name drop an artist. I think Monet is a name that works well into rhymes. And if you're at an art museum that has some Monet in it, I mean, you're probably at a decent one. But I don't know, even if you're not, looking at some art, talking about some art together as you're kind of chilling in the museum, it's a good vibe. And also gonna laugh and swoon over all that you say, bae. Communication is key, like I said earlier, but it's also a two-way street. You want to be listening as much as you're talking. And when the other person is saying something interesting or funny or cute, you want to react. You want to laugh. You want to show them that you're enjoying their personality and their presence and appreciating their thoughts. A lot of guys, when they're thinking about going on dates, they're like stressing about, am I talking enough? Am I funny? Am I interesting? And while, yeah, Yeah, that is true. You know, you don't want to be like a boring piece of crap. What's also very important on a date is not that you just like, you know, kind of put on a show, but make it clear too that you find the other person interesting, and not even just like on a physical level. At the point where you are going out on a date, that much may already be obvious. Like by listening to the things this person is saying and engaging and reacting, you're also showing them that you're interested in who they are as a person. And again, that's vital. That's important. People want to be appreciated on multiple levels. Okay, next line. But then afterwards, I want to leave you with a lack of words, talk you through what I do. I'm a podcaster. Okay, obviously we're not at the museum anymore. No, the setting has changed. We're back at the place. And what are we doing? I'm not getting too specific, but whatever you are doing, I'm definitely speaking to an ambition here of leaving the person speechless. That doesn't mean that there isn't a clear and significant communication going on. You know, you're not just like going in and ignoring everything the person says or desires or asks for or, you know, makes clear. In fact, you may want to be having a lot of conversation before we get to this stage, just to kind of, you know, gauge what the person's boundaries are, so on and so forth, the things that they find the most hot, etc., etc. But with that being said, I know personally, I'm a talker, I'm a yapper. I've been known to talk through it, and you know what? Likening yourself to a podcaster in that sense may be the least sexy thing ever, but I was more trying to be like funny with that line. All right, you'll be telling all your girls about my stamina. Yeah, I was trying to rhyme there. I was definitely like first album Kanye-ing, 2000 Southern hip hopping with that, you know, like a little bit of a, how do I want to put it? Kind of curving or like, you know, slurring that word a little bit in that way and kind of turning a stamina into a stamina. Yeah, I was kind of channeling that. I'm sorry. It's the maybe whitest thing that's going to come out of my mouth during this verse. Believe me. Either way, there are a lot of guys who are sort of like worried about, and kind of questioning like, you know, their performance in the bedroom. But something that's important to know is that women and men are really not all that different in terms of the things and topics they talk about within their tightly knit social groups. And a telltale sign of whether or not you're like actually doing a good job is whether or not the person you're seeing will tell their friends about it. And if the friend group is catching wind, I mean, you know, it's pretty easy to tell. So I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say it's going to happen in every single case, but it's a sign to look out for. Did I stammer? Jess soft launched Instagrammer. X vague posts how he misses her. Okay, so like taking all of these lines in totality, I've been in situations or have, you know, known people who have like soft launched a boyfriend, or they've posted like on their page or whatever, oh, I'm holding hands with a person, you know, I'm on a date here. I'm not going to show you who they are, what they look like, so on and so forth, but I'm going to show you, you know, me holding this person's hand. And, you know, sometimes when that happens, the ex of this person who is still following them on whatever social media platform it is, they'll start crashing the fuck out. And they're not going to like at the person or anything, but they themselves will begin to post to, I don't know, Instagram stories or something, just kind of be like, oh man, I miss her so bad. Oh my God, I didn't know how good I had it. And, you know, when that happens, just laugh. Don't take it too seriously. Like, you know, don't go over the edge or anything like that. It's not that serious. It's just like a funny thing that people do when, you know, they're catching feelings over the fact that maybe the person that they used to be with has moved on with their lives. It's just kind of the natural order of things with some individuals that are very insecure and self-conscious. But it is a funny thing that you may or may not observe at some point in your life. It is what it is. Toes curled up make your vision blur. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of talk generally in popular music and hip hop when it comes to sort of like how good the sex is that you're having. And sometimes that's just like put in a way that is very plain and boring and just not really that creative. And I was kind of borrowing from two different things there. Like personally, when I see people describing wild types of sex on the internet as a joke on social media. The idea of like the toes curling up, I've always thought was like very funny. Personally, I'm not like much of a foot guy. I don't know, like I'm not really paying attention much to like what the feet are doing. If I've been in a situation or scenario where someone's toes were curled, I'm not sure. I don't know. But you know, when you've seen like those endless series of descriptions when it's like on the washing machine, on the sink, on the kitchen counter, on the this, on the that, toes curling, breath this, da da da. You know, it's like those types of descriptions. The toes curling has always stood out to me as just very funny. Okay, but the thing is, in my verse, a lot of these things I'm talking about are maybe sort of future things that may be happening down the road. You know, it's like a bit of a flash forward type of moment, which is why I kind of bring things back to the start at the end of the verse. For now, we're still at your place. Sign a form. You could sit on my face. Some people don't really know what they're doing. You got to have a sign, a something, you know, like a tap, a message, an agreed upon signal just to kind of be like, hey, you know what? Like, go easy, or, you know, don't kill me. You know, you don't want to get waterboarded by the booty, which is why, you know, you might want to have somebody sign something beforehand. So, you know, if there's a wrongful death, you could take legal action. Don't agree, but I still like your taste. Eating so good that I gotta say grace. Final two lines of the verse. Don't agree, but I still like your taste. Like, obviously a bit of a double entendre there. You know, you're tasting. But then also, there's a lot of people who know me for music reviews and music taste, and I don't always agree with other people. That's fine. That's, you know, that's life. We could, disagree, but I could still enjoy the fact that you enjoy certain things. I think there's a lot of people that sort of like presume either romantically or platonically as well that, like, you know, if they get to know me or make any kind of connection with me, that they've got to be like really embarrassed or like hold close to the chest what sort of their favorite albums or artists are and that sort of thing. And the stuff that they will voice liking and enjoying around me will be like, you know, very carefully, methodically chosen and planned out out of fear that, like, I'm going to be super judgmental. Like, oh my God, I can't tell Anthony that I love Taylor Swift. He'll hate me. And honestly, like, I'm just so not like that. Not only is that just so annoying and tiresome and just like a really stupid way to approach friendships and relationships, just generally speaking, but also on top of that, for me personally, like, analyzing music and analyzing people's music tastes is work. I don't want to be like on a date or sleeping with somebody and be on the clock at the same time. I keep work at home. I keep work in the workspace. Yeah, obviously it's like something I enjoy doing. It's something I have a passion for, but it's like still my job. It's not something I'm just like out here wanting to do casually for fun, outside of like maybe some moments here and there where I'm in a friend group or with people who I know very personally or I'm very close with, and we are both voluntarily agreeing to have like a bit of a music debate, or, you know, maybe some new album has just come out that we're both like aware of, like, oh, what did you think of it? Like that kind of thing. I'm not like, you know, out here trying to like challenge people or corner people or make people feel uncomfortable about like what some of their favorite artists are. So yeah, I don't agree. I may not agree with, you know, maybe your favorite band is the best band of all time, but as long as you're passionate about it and, you know, you really dive into their music in a very deep way and you have like a profound understanding of what they do and what makes them special to you, I find that interesting. And, you know, I feel like there's too many people out there who just kind of like obsess over the idea of being in a relationship or meeting somebody who they like agree with on everything in terms of like, you know, what their favorite music or what their favorite artists are. I mean, I will agree there are definitely boundaries. I don't think I could be with somebody who, you know, maybe like Tom McDonald is their favorite artist of all time. But I feel like the reason that would be is maybe over, you know, more like personal values stuff, which, I mean, when it comes to a functional relationship, that sort of thing is important. You should most definitely have like shared personal values with the people who you know, plan to have in your life in a regular, close, intimate fashion. But yeah, continuing with the eating theme here, eating so good that I got to say grace. I mean, you know, what else do you say before a meal? You know, you're praying at the altar, like, thank you, Lord, for this bounty I'm about to receive. That's it. Went over the verse. Thoughts on the verse. Shout out to, Yuno Miles for having me on, allowing me to make some musical magic on this new track where we are going back to someone's place. The song and all that is linked down below so you can hear it for yourself, of course. Over here next to my head is another video you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, verse, collab, forever.